So hey, Lawn Care Nation, it's currently the winter off season for me here, and that means having to catch up on some vehicle maintenance, specifically with the work truck to get it ready for the upcoming lawn care season. With that being said, I needed a brand new jack to be able to lift my truck, so I decided to go out and purchase this Torin 3-ton jack from my local Costco. Apparently, this unit is very popular at Costco's and is something they carry for many years. So we're gonna unbox that, take a look at it, and see if it will work for me. I've got a couple of other jacks that we'll talk about, and sort of my reason why I wanted to upgrade to this Torin one. So let's get into it. Okay, so the two main jacks that I've relied on to be able to lift my 2005 GMC Sierra 3/4 ton here have been predominantly this small compact hydraulic jack, as well as the factory bottle jack. The biggest issue though with this hydraulic jack is it has been flawless in the years. It's probably from the late 80s, early 90s. I got this from my father, and it's only a 1.5 ton jack, but the biggest issue for this particular truck here is that this only lifts up to 14.5 inches, and that means that this jack is just not high enough to lift the front wheels. If I put that on the frame and get them off the ground, it'll extend all the way up and lift the front, but the wheels still won't be off the ground. The back, I can sometimes use this jack if I'm jacking at the rear differential, which is a lower point, and that gives me a little bit more height. So predominantly, I usually will rely then on the bottle jack that came with the truck for doing changing a spare tire if you've got a flat and stuff like that. Unfortunately, last summer I was doing the rear brakes on the truck, and in the middle of that, this jack somehow broke. It didn't fall over. It wasn't like a catastrophic failure or anything like that. It was just a little bit harder to lift that time, and didn't want to quite come down. When it finally did come down, I noticed that the cap was broken off of it, and it just kind of came apart. So now I'm kind of hooped. So saw these at Costco. This is the Torin. It's a 3-ton aluminum and steel service jack. This unit comes with a lifting adapter that you can see in the photo there that can give you some extra height. So it says without the lifting adapter, this will go from 3 3/8 of an inch, so a little bit lower than this one here, all the way up to 18 5/16 of an inch lifting height. And then if you put that lifting adapter in, then it gives you 6 5/16 of an inch, all the way up to 21 5/16 of an inch. So I'm hoping that'll be enough to be able to raise up the old Duramax there and safely lift it up. Now, I have no experience with jacks that are both aluminum and steel, and for what I could see in the store, it's basically these blue frame rails on the sides of the jack that are the aluminum pieces. The rest of the jack is all steel construction. Also has a rear foot pedal to make the initial lifting up of the jack height fairly quick. So let's open it up, take a look at it, put it together, and do any purging or anything that might be needed, and try it out. All right, let's open up the box here. Cut the straps off. You just slide out the pieces. Looks like a lifting arm. There's another one. Got the instructions. Looks like the foot pedal and an Allen jack or an Allen key. Rubber lifting pad. And this is the extension piece. Let's pull out the jack itself. You can see it's very heavy duty looking. Torin 3-ton Super Duty jack. And again, these blue side rails are the aluminum part. Everything else on this is solid steel construction. Okay, according to the instructions, the very first thing we need to do out of the box is to remove this stopper here that prevents the part where the handle attaches from moving during shipping. It says to be careful that once you take this out, this is going to want to pull forward. So we're going to put our hand on it, put some downward pressure to loosen this, and then while we pull that out, we're going to keep our hand pressure on this to kind of slowly release it up to the up position, like it says in the instructions. So just going to put that down, loosen that, and then just allow that to come up slowly. And there we go. That wasn't too bad. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is put the handle on. There's a little thumb screw here that we have to take off. And there's a notch here that once this tightens in there is going to line up so that the handle cannot be removed. There's also a square kind of socket shape here, and the drive in there is square, so we got to line that up as well until it drops in place, and then just tighten up that thumb screw, and then you can see that's on there and not going to come off, and we can tighten and loosen. Okay, so next I want to attach the foot pedal. It attaches through these two holes in these bolts here. These use a 1/2 inch wrench or socket. Take those off. Got some lock washers on them. Slide one through. Get those started by hand. Then I'll just use my 1/2 inch ratchet here to tighten those down. Now this foot pedal is just meant to quickly raise the height of the jack to the jacking position, and then you use the handle that gives you a lot more leverage to be able to lift the vehicle. This isn't meant to actually lift the vehicle with. Got that tightened down. All right, so one of the next steps according to the manual is this jack needs to be purged before we use it. To do that, we have to take off this cover plate, and that's just a Phillips screwdriver. If you don't do this step, then you risk the jack not being able to stay in the lifted position, which could obviously be dangerous. So we'll take that off. Okay, so according to the manual, to purge this system here, you need to turn the handle counterclockwise at least one full turn so that it's in the release position. You're then going to pump the handle 6 to 8 times rapidly and then keep it in the down position. Then you're going to take something like a flathead screwdriver, and there's a rubber plug here, and you just want to push the edge of the rubber plug towards the center so that it can release any air that might be built up in there. And there's the rubber plug right there, and yeah, it's pretty squishy, so got to be gentle as well that you don't damage that. So we will go counterclockwise to release. and then 6 to 8 pumps. Six, 7, 8, and then we'll push that plug to release any air. And you heard that little squirt come out there. So next I'm going to put it in the closed position and test out the operation. It's very fast, which is nice. And we'll release it. I'm going to do that again. Release. Now I'm going to leave it released all the way, and I'm going to do that purge one more time. Need a little squirt. Okay, so purging's all done. I did it a couple times just for my own sense of security. So I'm going to put this back now. Okay, so next we're going to put the SUV adapter on. This is what gives you that extra lifting height if you need it. Important to note, it's stamped with 2.5 tons. So if you're using this accessory, then you're only getting 2.5 tons of lifting versus 3 tons if you're using without. This is designed to store right here in this location. You can thread it in there and use that large Allen key tool to tighten it in place so you don't misplace it. And we can hand tighten that. It doesn't have to be too tight, of course. It's just to keep it there in that storage position. The only other thing to do here is to put that lifting plate on the regular side there. All right, so the last step is to put the extension pole piece of the handle. It's a quick release. It's got one of those buttons there, slides in to the top here, and there's a little hole here that button lines up with. So you can see it pop through there, and now we got the full kind of jack height there, and ready to test it out. It's got some nice swivel casters on it, which is really nice. A little bit noisy on my exposed aggregate driveway, but definitely easy to maneuver. That long handle gives you plenty of reach. And I'm going to try the foot pedal for that kind of rapid placement of it. And then you can see the wheels already coming off the ground. I think that's like the maximum. Super easy. And plenty of a wheel lift there. You can see lots of ground clearance to take off the truck tire if I need to. Absolutely awesome. And that is without using even the adapter. So let's lower it down, put the adapter on, and see how high we can lift it. Gonna turn it slowly, of course. Yeah, you can get good control. Okay, so to switch to using the SUV adapter, we need to loosen it with the provided tool so we can take it off. We're going to take that little rubber piece out, put it off to the side for right now, take off the flat piece. It's a bit that is on there tight. I'm going to use a rubber mallet to loosen it. That is not coming off. Okay, so why is there another brand new box in front of me? Well, when I went to try to put that height adapter on the jack that was used at the beginning of this video, I couldn't get the bolt off of the base unit to take it off despite everything I tried using the Allen key that was provided, trying to tap the Allen key with a rubber mallet, even went as far as using the appropriate size bit in my Milwaukee Impact, and it still would not remove that bolt that's required to be able to put that height adapter on. So unfortunately I had to run back to Costco, pack it all up, and go exchange it for another one. So got another unit here. I'm going to unbox it, do the purging, put it all together, and get us back to the point of doing that height adjustment. So I'm going to save you guys the whole process there, as we've already done it, and I'll catch up to you once I got it back to the point where we left off. All right, so I thought I'd show you the issue before I move any further in pulling this unit up. So the issue was you need to put this adapter in place of this one and actually use this one on top of this piece. So when I went to remove that and remove this bolt, I could not get that to budge. Like I said, it wouldn't move just freely like that. I tried using rubber mallets and hitting the bolt. That didn't happen. Tried my Milwaukee Impact within a same size bit in it. It would not take that off. It was completely seized. Felt like it was almost welded. This one, you can see, unscrews, no problem. Very easily, the way it should. So let me get this set up and we'll get back into it. Okay, we're back at the point we left off. Tested out the jack, lifting it with the regular plate. It works fine. So if you want to use the adapter, we're going to have to swap these out. Take the little rubber cover off. You have to undo this one. This is where that other one had issues. You can see this one comes off with no issues at all. Set that aside. Take this one from the storage spot. Take this one off here. Take the bolt off. Line this one up in the hole. Put the plate back on top. Use the longer bolt now to thread that in. Making sure you line up all the pieces there so that the bolt fits in that little seated housing. You can be able to snug it up and still turn that top portion. It's on there nice and tight. You can take the bolt that was there and store it in this spot, and then put your rubber plug back on. And that's how you use the height adapter. So let's see how much extra height we get. Couple of pushes of that foot pedal gets it right up in its spot. I think that about maxes it out. Right about there. You can see how much higher the truck gets lifted with that in place. Easily gives me the clearance I need, more than I need for this truck. Let's lower it down slowly. Always be careful lowering. Especially from the max height. All right, so the next thing I want to check out is the reach I get with this long handle. I'm going to put it under the differential to simulate jacking up the truck from the rear. I'm not actually going to jack it up because I don't have the front wheels blocked off, and the rear wheels are what it's in two-wheel drive mode right now, so the transmission is only connected to the rear and the emergency brake is only on the rear. But we're just going to see. Oh yeah, no problem. It's already touching the differential now. I've got the height adjustment piece in place. Let me switch that out so I can get it right under the differential. Take that nut back off. Give it a couple of tightens. And let's see now. Yeah, so you can see how that long reach of that handle really benefits being able to get all the way under there without actually getting under the vehicle, which is what I previously had to do with my old jack. So there you have it, Lawn Care Nation. That is the Torin 3-ton aluminum / steel jack available at Costco. But overall, seems like a really nice jack. Was a little issue with that first one that I had, just with the threads. Seemed like it was either cross-threaded or something just not right there, although all the jack functions worked fine. I had to run to the store, do a quick exchange. The replacement works perfectly. So I'm really pleased with how heavy duty this is and how high it gets this truck. For my particular truck here, I don't even need to use the extra height adapter there, which is really nice. Maybe for some of the newer like Ford F-150s or F-350s that are taller stance trucks, or if you've got a lift kit or something like that, then you might need to use that additional adapter, but definitely nice to have in the future in case I ever upgrade my truck or get something different. It's good to have that adapter, but for the time being, just even the stock height, they're lifting up to that almost 19 inches without the adapter. Seems to work fantastically. All right, so it's been a couple of days with the replacement jack, and so far it's been flawless. I really enjoy this jack. I think it's a great value, especially if you're buying it through Costco compared to other jacks that are on the market. There's only two minor annoyances that I can see with this jack, at least for me. And the first one being the top of the handle here. There's no cap or anything to finish it off. It's just the hollow pipe. So that kind of, to me, kind of seems unfinished. And then the other annoyance is with that big Allen key tool that they give you for removing the bolt here so that you can put that extra height adapter on the end there. And it's just that there's nowhere to store this Allen key tool on the jack itself. So you risk misplacing it and losing it or forgetting where you put it if you're going to throw it in a toolbox. So luckily I have a 3D printer and I decided to design this little contraption here to kind of serve two purposes and kind of basically address two birds with one stone, so to speak. So I can pop this in the end here and kind of give it a nice finishing off, a nice little cap there. And it also serves as onboard tool storage for that Allen key wrench. So I've always got it on the handle there and always know where it is when I need it. So that's it for this one, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you use this Torin 3-ton jack from Costco, if you have any experience with this brand of jack, and we'll catch you in the next one.